Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum. Today I am going to talk about sociological paradigms, and I will start my presentation with positivism, sociological positivism, positivism and sociology, how they are linked and why it is important to study positivism in social sciences. Sociological paradigm, it refers to the systematic frameworks and perspectives and outlooks to social reality. So there are different paradigms, and with the help of those paradigms we can study the structure and the function of social reality. What the social scientist tries to do, or sociologist and anthropologist attempts to do, is that by using these paradigms, he tries to come up with certain propositions, with certain insights, with certain theories that could help him in understanding a large amount of social and cultural data. So these paradigms, you can say they are the codes, they are the simplified codes of social reality, and with the help of these simplified versions, mind maps, concept maps, we can explain and understand the social reality. In sociological discourse, positivism is a very important paradigm and a very popular, you can say it's the basic and fundamental paradigm. The foundation of positivism started with the very foundation of sociology, and some of the early sociologists, they tried to invoke the natural scientific explanation and scientific method in the study of social sciences. I can recount a lot of names, but just to give you, for example, it was Ibn Khaldun who made a systematic and scientific study of history and culture, human culture, and he, developed a lot of generalizations which are valid even today. Then in the during the French Revolution and after the French Revolution, we find a lot of moral philosophers and political and social commentators engaging in the study of scientific study of society. Notably, it was Auguste Comte of France, and he even coined the term sociology. So he developed a positive system of philosophy. But when we study society in a positivistic way, we have to deal it separately from philosophy. In philosophy, positivism, is more on the logical side, and it claims that if you cannot verify and establish a proposition, if you cannot corroborate it, it will be declared invalid, untrue, and will not be accepted. While positivism in sociology and the social science means that you should be able to corroborate your observation through data, through information which you gather and then which you test and verify through different statistical and mathematical tools. So in social sciences, in sociological discourse, positivism is entirely different. Now, what the sociologist and the other social scientists, economists, and other people, what they do is that they claim that social reality, it can be measured, like we do in the natural sciences. We can measure the social reality, then we can build causal model. Those models can be then applied and generalized to a larger set of data and can help us understand the rise and fall and growth and decline of the societies and economies. And similarly, positivism includes the ability to develop universal laws and universal applications of data which we gather from the observation of social reality. So in fact, it is a scientific inquiry, scientific way of studying the social behavior and trying to isolate the facts from the fiction, reality from the imagination, truth from the falsehood, on the basis of a systematic, logical, intellectual, rational and empirical way. All these things, and when we take all these things together and we try to generate data from our observation, then we test that data through different, we develop hypotheses and we test those hypotheses, and the data generated is then used in explanations and used in a description of the social reality which we observed or which is present on ground. What is important in the sociological positivism, apart from observation, natural observations, natural settings and natural flow of data, the importance of, significance of human ability to objectively and you can say rationally understand the structures, social institutions and their processes. And once we have been able to understand, just like the you can say the Ibn Khaldun's theory of Asabia, what he did, that he observed this fact that how the group sense it brings the people together, and when a leader is able to master and materialize and capitalize on the group sense, he can lead the entire society and the entire group to growth and progress and development. Similarly, in Auguste Comte we find this concept of 3 stages of human consciousness. He says that human consciousness passes from theological to metaphysical to philosophical or positive stage. In the theological stage, we are mostly intended and inclined towards believing and into superstition and trusting in the supernatural, while in the metaphysical stage, when the consciousness moves from the theological to, from the religious to the metaphysical stage or the philosophical stage, we try to investigate the causes, we try to understand the natural events and happenings, and we try to understand the structure of reality in a more rational way than we do in the theological state or the theological mode of consciousness. Finally, this habit of asking questions and raising queries about the reality, outside reality, external reality, about social reality, leads us to the final stage, and that is the positive and the scientific stage. And in the positive stage, what we do is that we first we do the observation, then on the basis of that observation we develop a hypothesis, and then on the basis of that hypothesis we try to collect data, and then that data is tested and interpreted and extrapolated, and if the data corroborates the observation and the hypothesis, it is accepted and it develops more into some sort of theory, and if it is not corroborated and it is not verified by the data gathered about the hypothesis, then it is rejected and disproved, and then this circle, this process goes on. So the hallmark of the sociological paradigm is, so positivism is the application of scientific approach to the study of social processes, to the study of social institutions, to the study of social structures, to the study of human social behavior. Why people rebel, what are the reasons why people rebel, why the crime is on the rise, street crime is on the rise, why rape is multiplying day by day, why there is why the societies are collapsing, why the relationships are floundering. All these things, when you narrow down your observation on a particular, you narrow down on crime, you narrow down on rape, you narrow down on violence, you narrow down on wars, you narrow down on economic down, you narrow down your attention on a particular social or cultural phenomena are social or cultural manifestation, are social or cultural reality, are expression, then your consistent observation leads you to develop certain rules, certain hypotheses, and then you build questionnaires, surveys and experiments, design those surveys and experiments, and on the basis of those surveys and experiments you try to develop certain generalized conclusions and principles. Either they are corroborated or they are rejected. In case of corroboration, those hypotheses then become clamant for the next stage. They become part of a theory or become a theory, and then they are accepted, and then if they are not accepted, they are not verified by the data, they are rejected. So, positivism provides us a systematic tool, theoretical tool, a framework through which we can assess different dimensions and different aspects of social reality in multiple contexts. We can access those things which are and make sense of those things in a scientific way. And what is important, significant about this approach is that it is not some sort of you have some secret and intuitive sense of studying the reality. Everybody can study the social reality by using these steps, by using these methods, the scientific method, by observation, hypothesis, testing, verification, confirmation, rejection, reproducibility. Data is not secret, data is public, data is reproducible. Your claims are public, reproducible. Some other scientist, some other sociologist, some other anthropologist, some other psychologist, economist can pick up that data set of data and test it and find out whether your hypotheses are correct or incorrect, whether they are relevant or irrelevant, whether they make sense, or whether they establish what you have claimed. So, my friends, it is very important, and it is it's still positivism is a big force even today in the social sciences, and now it has taken I would say with the arrival of AI it has taken another leap, and there is a rise and growth in computational social science. And what we are now seeing is that large amount of data, social data, cultural data, religious data, historical data, aesthetic data, psychological data is assessed from the artificial intelligence tool, chat GPT or other sources, and then people develop models on them, mathematical models, try to develop correlations, run regressions, run structural equation modeling, and all these kind of things, run surveys, experiments in controlled conditions, run simulations. So, the importance of positivistic social science has become manifold, very significant, because it provides you generalizability, it provides you objectivity, it gives rationality, and it gives empirical quality to your investigation. And that is all for today. Thank you very much. Hope you liked it.